guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Dimmitt Chevrolet in super sunny Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have a rare car that's really hard to track down. I got a 2021 Chevrolet Camaro. This one's an RS with the 1LE performance package. But before we dive into this cherry of a performance car, let's talk about what's going on here. So the Camaro, it's been around since 1967, as many of you know. One thing you may not know is that you could get your performance many different ways, especially today in the 21st century, as the Camaro is meeting the end of that line. Remember, they're saying 2022, it's gonna be the end of the run of the Chevrolet Camaro. What's great is that Chevrolet not only offers a lot of engine choices, but this particular one has that 1LE performance package. So what that means is this Camaro RS is gonna handle and brake like none other that comes before it, and definitely none that's gonna come after, because this is the end of the road for the Camaro. Now, with this 2021, you're actually gonna get some touches that are new for this particular model year. And it's just crazy to think that what is Chevrolet gonna have to go up against the other pony cars, the Dodge Challenger and the Ford Mustang. But let's go ahead, let's try to answer a question. If you don't wanna go SS or go the V8 route, is this RS with the V6, but with the 1LE package, is that the Sunday with the sprinkles on top? So let's go ahead and find out, is this the performance car, pony car, to get budget-wise, but also has a few tricks up its sleeve. Right off the bat, the styling. I love Wild Cherry. It's a new color for 2021. They got rid of Garnet Red. This really shows the lines of the car, and it has such a nice pop to it. Now, when we start at the front end of the business, you're gonna see some unique touches to the front end of your RS. Remember, when we say RS, we're talking about Rally Sport. It's an appearance package. And this front fascia is unique to the V6 model. If you go SS, you're gonna actually get a totally different front fascia. But what's interesting, when you go RS, you're gonna get that nice tasteful badge here right up front. You have your LED headlights, love the daytime running lamps, some flat black, and then you're gonna notice, because we have a 1LE package car, you're gonna get extra aero work. So down below you get this massive front splitter. This is a functional piece. This is going to give you more downforce. You have your massive vents for brake cooling. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, why do we even have a 1LE package? What is that? What does that even represent? Well, it all goes back to the 1980s, which is one of my favorite generations of the Camaro. We had the Z28, we had the IROC Z. Well, guess what? In SCCA, which is the Sports Car Club of America, they had the showroom stock class. And a lot of guys and girls that were racing in that class wanted some extra performance, but you had to keep your vehicle stock. So what Chevrolet did was they added another option to the list. You check off the 1LE package, you're gonna get beefed up suspension, beefed up cooling, and that's all that this has in the 21st century, with those extra brake package as well. So you're gonna get extra braking capability, plus a very unique look, which I like. Now, as we come across the rest of the front fascia, everything is fully functional, both top and bottom. Like I said, you're gonna get heavy duty cooling, so you're gonna get a larger radiator, you're gonna get that engine oil cooler. This 1LE comes with that manual 6-speed manual transmission, and like I was saying, you actually get a unique look, and here's where it starts. Not only with the front splitter, but as we get up onto the hood, love the classic Camaro hood design. It really has that muscle car feel. You have a nice rise on both sides in the center, and it takes it all the way to the windshield. And what's cool is when you're behind the wheel of this car, you could actually see the nice rise. It gives you that bulge. You know, a lot of people want that power bulge. You're getting it with this Camaro. Now, as we come around the bend, you're gonna have unique wheel and tires, of course, on the 1LE. So you're gonna get 20-inch wheels. These wheels are forged aluminum. So what that means is this wheel is a lighter wheel. It's also a stronger wheel that's gonna quicken up the steering. You're gonna get the 4-piston Brembo calipers right off of the Camaro SS, increased rotor size, and you're getting the whole suspension setup from a Camaro SS. Now, for those of you who do like to do some competitive, maybe some autocrossing, maybe even some track days and stuff, this really is a sleeper, or should I say a ringer. You know, there's many different classes in autocrossing. This runs in that standard V6 Camaro category, but you're getting all the suspension bits, so that's gonna handle like none other before it, really, to be honest with you, with the wheels, the brakes, the suspension. We go down in the fender. I love the Camaro badge, that red, white, and blue with that beautiful metallic wild cherry tint coat color. As we go down the side, 1LE, you're gonna have your flat black mirrors, matches the satin black wrapped hood. That's from the factory. You have your flat black shark fin antenna. Really love the design. You know, this is sitting on that Alpha 2 chassis, and if you compare this to the Mustang or the Challenger, this is the most nimble out of the bunch, especially with this extra package. But I really love down below what they did with the side of the doors on both sides. That nice extension gives it some great flow, and then it has a wonderful flared out look the way that they did the whole roof line. Now I know that whole blind spot thing comes into play, but I'm telling you, when you're out in the track, when you're going down your favorite twisty road, this thing really is gonna do the business if you got the skills to make it happen. Now out back, of course, we're gonna get a little bit wider rear tire. That's gonna help get the traction to the ground, but you're looking at that 20-inch wheel, and you're looking out back 275s, 275 on the width, 35 series sidewall, gonna get that traction. The one zonk I am gonna have to put in there is I wish they would have put some Brembo calipers on the rear. It just has that stock sliding caliper, but I do like the Camaro name that's stamped into that forged wheel. And then when we get to the tail end of the business, you're gonna have a very tasteful, also functional trunk lid spoiler. You're gonna get the smoke cleared taillights. I'm actually starting to like them, believe it or not. At first I was like, eh. The one thing is just the horizontal bar I wish that it didn't have, but other than that, it looks really good. I'm still gonna have to zonk the RS badge. I don't know why they randomly chose this area to put it. It would have been nice to put it up on the actual trunk lid. And with this being a 1LE, you are gonna get that active exhaust, the performance exhaust. You can make your V6 louder or quieter depending on what you wanna do. If you wanna piss everybody off, just make it a little bit louder. And with the RS package, not only do you get the smoke taillights, but you're also gonna get, of course, your blacked out bow tie like we have up front and out back. Simple but tasteful rear diffuser. I love the quad tip exhaust, especially the way they're staggered. And what I mean by that is this pipe is actually a little bit closer to the body. This one extends just a tad. So really, really nice the way they have that wonderful setup. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop that satin black hood and see what's powering this 1LE RS. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hydraulic hood struts. Underneath that hood, not the sexiest of engine covers, so I am gonna have to zonk that, especially because this is a 1LE. But what you're looking at is that tried and true 3.6 liter V6, 335 horsepower, 284 pound-feet of torque. Like I mentioned, it is mated to a slick shifting 6-speed manual transmission. 0 to 60, if you know how to dance on those twinkle toes, 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds. Quarter mile is gonna go by at 13.8 at 101 miles an hour. Top speed around 155 miles an hour. And the car weighs around 3,400 pounds. MPGs, you're gonna do a little bit better with the V6 than a V8. 18 in the city, 27 on the highway. And when I say 1LE package, listen to what you're getting. You're getting, like I said, that satin black hood with the bulge. So you got your bulge, you could brag to everybody. Front splitter, the trunk lid spoiler, you got the 20-inch forged wheels, the Brembo brakes, and then of course you're getting the heavy duty cooling, the dual mode exhaust, and wait until we get inside, you're getting a suede wrapped steering wheel, plus the FE3 SS suspension, the whole 9 yards, the knuckles, the dampers, the whole setup. Plus I like the way they actually stiffen up the front end of the vehicle, because remember, it's not just about adding better brakes or suspension. We need to stiffen up the chassis just a little bit, and that's where the V6 is actually gonna have quicker turn-in than the V8 powered Camaro SS. But why don't we fire up this V6 and hear what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2021 Camaro RS 1LE. I know you're at that point, you're like, Joe, I've been looking at pony cars. You know, there's so many different Mustangs. You've brought them to us here on Rady's Rides. I've been looking at the Challenger, but I want something that handles a little bit more. I got tons of twisty roads, which if you do, I'm freaking jealous of you. But you're saying to yourself, I got tons of twisty roads. I don't want a V8 really, but I want excellent handling, and I like a little bit different look. I'm digging this one. How much is it? So MSRP, the way that you see it, RS with the 1LE package, you're looking at MSRP of $34,000. Now, before many of you put in the comment section, which go ahead and do, but before you put in the comment section, you say, well, I'm going LT1. I'm going LT1 for that price. I want my V8. That's fine. But remember, you're getting a lot of extra handling goodies on this car. You're not getting on the LT1. Plus, it's a little bit more distinctive look than the LT1, and you get that wonderful manual with it, which is one of the things I love. But let's go ahead and see what you get for the money to the door panels. So there is a lot of hard plastic. That is going to be the zonk, even up top, very hard plastic. You do have a nice armrest, though, with some stitch work, and that door pocket, maybe one Snickers bar, like king size. If you want to go regular size Snickers, you can put 2 in there. Don't go 3, you're going to crush your nuts all over the place. You got the Bose sound system, which is nice, and then that metallic flat silver, it kind of breaks up the sea of just dark material, but it's all hard black plastic. Now, when you get to the dash, you do have some nice leather, simulated leather style going on with the stitch work. I do like the round AC vents, and then on this one, you are going to get the 8-inch infotainment system, not the 7-inch, which you would have in that LT1 Camaro. It's Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and it's wireless for 2021. So you get all of that for 2021. That's a new change. And of course, you got your Wi-Fi hotspot, the swipe features. You could go into your climate control, very easy, and adjust things, or you could do it using the actual knobs and switch gear, which I'll show you that in a second. Let me go ahead and put it into reverse. It's a little foggy, but it's nice that it takes up a very large area, the whole 8 inches of screen, and you do have trajectory, which is extra special as well. Now, as we toggle down, you do have your start-stop button. You have your standard AC controls, but what I like about it is you just adjust the temperature by twisting the trim ring, almost like an Audi product, or the blower fan, all by twisting here, which is great, and it shows up on the screen, extra nice. Remember how when you were a kid, your parents were like, listen, knock on the door before you just come walking in? That's where they made the magic happen. That's where they made you. Well, guess what? This is where you're gonna make the magic happen. This slick shifting, 6-speed manual transmission, so nice on the throws, really engages, especially that pesky second to third. Look at that, right on the money. Every single time when you go 1LE, you're getting the Alcantara wrap shift knob, absolutely beautiful, and the shift boot with the stitch work. A little bit of this shiny chrome material, but that's okay. And then you're gonna have your mode selector button, which I'll show you more of that when you come to the business end. You do have your 12 volt, which I'm gonna keep zonking it. It's too far from the windshield if you're gonna put a radar detector to save your bacon when you're out on your favorite twisty roads. You got your 2 cup holders, and then you have your standard key fob. It's got the Chevrolet bow tie. You could wear your gold bow tie, and you can have your gold bow tie on your key fob. But it's got all the buttons nicely placed. You can pop the trunk. Semi-soft, almost incredibly hard on the armrest, but you know what? You open it up, and you have maybe room for 2 Twinkies. And my advice is save these for when you're doing your autocross event. You get your trophy, and then when you get your picture taken, gobble down a Twinkie. It'll make everybody jealous. I promise you. I've done it. Cloth material. So with the 1LE package, you are getting cloth seats. It would have been nice if they did some RS embroidery, but you know what? Very, very grippy material. I like the gray. I like the stitch work. Of course, you're going to have manual controls for the passenger. I have electric over here, but the good news is that when it comes to like bolstering for a non-race seat, it actually keeps you pretty planted. And you know what? If you're going light, if you want like light, a cloth seat is actually lighter than a leather seat, which is nice. I guess the one thing is for people who want like a badge, you know, you want to have a badge, there is no 1LE badge anywhere on this car because it isn't its own separate model within the Camaro lineup. It's just an option, that performance package option. I guess my advice is if you really need a badge, you get one made out of gold and you can wear it around your neck on a big, thick rope gold necklace. But why don't you come over here behind the business end, because I got a flat bottom steering wheel with your name on it. Come on over. All right, guys, behind the business end, you do have the Camaro name to welcome you each and every time. And like I said, for the driver, you do have power seat controls. I think the biggest talking point is you get this beautiful thick rim wheel, flat bottom with the Alcantara material all the way around. My only zonk is it would have been nice to have RS here. If you're going with the RS and that's all about an appearance package, would have been nice to have a red or silver RS badge here, but you got your Camaro name smack dab in the center. Really, really great feel. Of course, it's a tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then the dash is super straightforward. It's all analog except for a small digital display in there. And like I pointed out, you do have your different modes, Tour, Sport, and Track. You put in Sport or Track, and you are gonna have that little bit louder exhaust. I know many people talk about the blind spots in here, and it is a little kind of like claustrophobic, but I promise you, you own this car, within a week, you're gonna feel comfortable, you're gonna feel good. It's just you're gonna have to be extra careful driving it, especially in tight parking situations. But let's go ahead. We're not gonna do the back seat, super tight. We're gonna check out the trunk, and then if you're ready, I'm ready. We're gonna road through the 6-speed and take it for a spin. Let's go check out that trunk. All right, guys, time to get into the trunk. This is where the Camaro does come and draw the short end of the stick out of all the pony cars, whether it be a Mustang, Challenger, smallest trunk in the segment. You're only looking at a little bit more than 6 cubic feet of space, and the opening, as you can see, is not that large. So you're gonna have to, if you go to Costco, you're gonna have to be very careful with your selections of big barrels of mayonnaise and ketchup and potato chips, because there may not be enough room for you after doing that Costco run. But definitely one run that's gonna be worth doing is, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's take this Camaro RS 1LE for a little spin. All right, guys, we left Dimmitt Chevrolet. We're in the 2021 Wild Cherry. It's my new favorite color for a Camaro. Really, really is. Wild Cherry Camaro RS 1LE. Right away, like I said, you're getting that extra special feeling by having that Alcantara, that suede wrap steering wheel, and the shift knob and the shift boot. You're gonna be feeling that each and every day. Nice short throws from the transmission, and here we go. Very, very smooth, good clutch pickup, and with that active exhaust, you could hear that extra sound coming in. It really allows the V6 to breathe a little bit more freely and give you such a unique tone and experience. But let me slow down here a little bit. Second gear. On throttle, here we go. Nice. Really great. I mean, you're getting that naturally aspirated V6 power, so it's got smooth torque delivery, nice turn in, rear wheel drive, of course. The chassis, you could feel the work that they did, because it really just balanced out the whole platform. And the wonderful thing is, not having too much power allows you to get on throttle so much sooner than if this was, say, a ZL1 or even a ZL1 1LE, believe it or not, because you have about half the horsepower of a vehicle like that. Steering has a great weight to it. You got the 3 different modes. Right now we have it in Sport. And like I said, when it comes to visibility, yes, out the back glass, it's tight. The rear pillars are horrendous. Out the front, it's not too bad. And that's really where you're gonna be looking, where you wanna go. Just make sure you use your mirrors properly, and you should be good to go in this car. Just like any other Camaro, it's easy to get to the infotainment system. It's nice for 2021 to have the wireless Apple CarPlay, to have the wireless Android Auto. Seats, they're super comfy. They really, really are. And that's another thing I always find in a cloth seat, is that it has a little bit more comfort to it compared to leather. But one thing I wish that the driver's seat, for at least myself, would have is lower lumbar support. I need a little bit lower lumbar, but other than that, I mean, I have everything set up exactly the way I want it. If you're wondering, well, Joe, how come you don't sit in the back seat? It's just very tight. For somebody 6 feet tall like myself, it's extremely, extremely tight. I got plenty of headroom though up here. And the good news is, if you're doing an autocross event, this thing, I'm telling you, it's a ringer. If you got the skills especially. And the better news is you got plenty of room even for when you're wearing a helmet, which is good. All right, guys, here we go. On throttle. Great sound, I'm telling you, it's such a unique tone. And I'm so glad that Chevrolet decided to bring the 1LE package, because originally that was just reserved for the SS, the V8 powered, now you can get the 1LE package on all the different engine specs, whether it's the 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine, the V6, the V8, and then of course the LT4 ZL1. And that 1LE package is definitely one that has my attention. But still smooth, and if you're wondering, well, Joe, is that beefed up suspension from the SS, is it gonna beat me up? No, it still rides great. I mean, we're gonna get out on the highway so you can see just how nicely this Camaro goes down the road, because I'm telling you, the Alpha 2 chassis is really, really a great chassis. This is 4th gear, on throttle, just pulls, nice and smooth. In the 5th, I love this gearbox. I'm telling you, the throws are absolutely divine. Gauges, mostly analog, but you know what? That's not what this car is about. If you want a fancier dash, there's other Camaros that are out there for you to bring you a little bit more tech. They got a very nice large 7-inch TFT display on some of the other higher trims that you could go with. But really, really like how just smooth it drives over the road, even over expansion joints. And then, like I said, when you want to turn up the wick, you can. So 3rd gear, on throttle, here we go. Yeah. It's a fun car. And I'm telling you, for somebody who doesn't need or want a V8, and yes, I know it sounds crazy. There are people out there that may not want the V8. This thing, for its class, brings so much performance. It's ridiculous, especially when it comes to braking and handling. And like I was saying, it's nice to have the wonderful brakes from the SS. Flip and throttle is a piece of cake in this thing. So if you know how to heel toe downshift, piece of cake. Love the turn-in, the weight of the steering. Chevrolet does performance vehicles really well, and I'm gonna say again, what's great about this particular one is you have tons of performance that you could actually use, which is nice. When you come out of a turn, you could just get on throttle. Now, you may not be able to smoke them because you don't got them, but that's okay. If you want to have that ability, just get a bigger engine in your Camaro, and then you'll be able to smoke them because you got them all day long. All right, guys, here we go. 1st gear, on throttle. Really smooth. Puts a smile on your face, and that's what these cars are about. Even if you're not going to do any autocrossing or taking it to a track day, if you have some twisty roads, or even if you want to just have a little bit more fun on your commute, but you want to have a little bit better fuel economy and keep it at a certain price point, but yet have performance, this car checks off so many boxes. And like I said, I absolutely love the Wild Cherry Tint Coat. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall view of what this Camaro RS with the 1LE package is all about. We're gonna get back to Dimmitt Chevrolet and wrap this one up, so I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been another amazing time here at Dimmitt Chevrolet. I definitely gotta thank Raheel, Eli, and the rest of the crew getting us access to a 2021. It's got the Wild Cherry color, it's got the 1LE package, and even though maybe it doesn't have that V8 extra power and sound, boy oh boy, does this car have performance, especially when it comes to braking, and that steering input is second to none. Really gonna surprise you. So nice to see that they basically make a Camaro for every particular person out there that wants their own unique style and performance. But if you wanna keep seeing these muscle cars, and you know what, even though this has a V6, I'm gonna say it does have some muscle, that's for sure. Leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new and you're on your way out, hit that subscriber button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you wanna help us keep making great content just for you in the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Gotta give it up to the queen of the camera, Lori, working that camera like a champ, out here in the sun. That camera weighs about 15 pounds and she's getting it done. So thank you, Lori, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.